Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring. In this video, I'm going to assess one of my students' letters and provide feedback along with the expected score for this particular letter. Let me go through this now. Instead of writing down 07 September 2000, 2010, it is recommended to write down, okay, let me write it down here. Instead of writing 2010, you can write down 7 September, and then without any comma, you can write down just 7 September 2010. This is not a grammar mistake, but it is the way you have to write down the words. Okay, it could be much better if you can do without a comma here. But when you have to write down the similar kinds of dates within the paragraph, it's better to use commas. Let me go through the next one, which is Mr. Samantha Bruin, Miss Samantha Bruin, senior nurse, Gravel's Nursing Home. Okay, instead of writing down senior nurse, it's better to write down the senior nurse. Okay, all right. And then she has written on Dear Miss Bruin, that's good. And regarding Mr. Gerald Baker, aged 79, I'm very happy with the way that you have written on. I'm writing to refer back Mr. Baker, who requires continuing care and management. It's not continuing care, but continued care. It's actually continued care, okay? And management. He is recovering from total hip replacement surgery. That's good. There is no other mistake in the introduction paragraph. I'm very happy for you. Let me go through the next one. Mr. Baker was recommenced on aspirin postoperatively. Postoperatively is one word only. So postoperatively is one word only. So you should write like this: post and then hyphen and then operatively. That's how you have to write down. What about the next one? Along with his usual blood pressure medications. That's okay. It's good. In addition, in addition, that's two words. It's not a single phrase. So in addition, you have written down without any space, which is not good. You have to write down with the space. Okay, in addition, and there should be a comma as well. You didn't place a comma here, and it's not good. In addition, he has been commenced on Canadian Fort. He requires daily dressing at the incision site. There's a spelling mistake here. Incision site, okay, all right. Let me write it down. Incision. So what you have written down is INSCION, okay, INSCION, but that's actually INCSION. This is what you have to write down. Okay, so it's INCISION, incision site. He was initiated with the range of motion strengthening and stretching. That's wrong. And spelling mistake here as well. So you have committed a couple of spelling mistakes, plus you should have used an article as well. Now, range of something, no, it's a range of. You have to write down a range of. You have to use an article in this case. Okay, let's go through this. Motion strengthening, spelling mistake. It's not strengthening, it's strengthening. So strengthening, that's wrong. When you look at it, you can see that that's actually strengthening. Okay, and then the next one is stretching. Is not stretching exercises, that's wrong. Okay, it's not stretching. Sorry, it's not stretching exercises. It's not stretching, but it's actually stretching. Stretching, and then exercises have one C in between. Exercises, okay, stretching exercises. All right, we are sending a pillow under Wheelie Walker, and a Walker along with, we arranged a social worker for occupational therapy. Along with the, we arranged, this is not correct. This is not correct. We arranged a social worker. Okay, that's wrong. That's wrong. Otherwise, what you should have done is you should have put a full stop here after Walker, and then you can start. Along with that, we have arranged a social worker for occupational therapy. Okay, that could have been much better. Otherwise, this sentence is incomplete. It's grammatically incorrect. Along with, we arranged. So start a new sentence. Start a new sentence with this phrase, please. Okay. Start a new sentence with this phrase, please. All right. Okay. Mr. Baker requires continuous observation. That's correct. But the way you have written on R and V seems to be one and the same, isn't it? The way you write it down, plus this one, the spelling mistakes. Okay. And then in requires, you seems to be a plural noun. So the way you have written down is requires. Okay, requires. This is how you have written down. Instead of writing down small u, you have written down capital U. I understand that it's, you intend to write down small u, but it doesn't look like that. You have to use small u separately. Okay. And then continuous, you didn't write down continuous, you have written on continuous. Okay, that's wrong. All right, that's a spelling mistake again. Continuous observation. Okay, continuous, it's not continuous, it's continuous. Okay, observation. The way you have written on seems to be observation, but it's observation. You have to clearly distinguish the difference between R and V. I hope you intend to write down observation, but the way you have written down doesn't seem to be observation. Okay. All right. Let me go through the next one. As he showed disorientation during post-operative period. Okay. Continuous observation as he showed disorientation during post-operative period. Again, post-operative. Okay, post-operative needs to be written down as one word only. Post-operative with a hyphen in between. All right. What's the next one? You have written down secondary. You have period secondary to anesthesia. That's all right. But again, there's a spelling mistake with anesthesia. All right, let me write it down. Anesthesia. This is what you have written, but unfortunately, it's not anesthesia and then CIA. It is actually SIA, anesthesia. Okay, so it's SIA. It's not CIA. Okay, his hemoglobin level was dropped after surgery, for which he was transfused 3 units of packed red blood cells. Okay, all right. For which, after surgery, comma, for which. Okay. Instead of that, what you should have done is you should have written on after surgery, for which, comma. Okay. And then you have mentioned he was transfused. That's wrong. 3 units of packed red blood cells were transfused. So he was transfused. Need to be replaced with 3. I mean, it could have been removed from here. Remove this phrase from here, and then you have to say for which, comma, 3 units of packed red blood cells were transfused. So after red blood cells, instead of putting full stop, you can say 3 units of red blood cells were transfused. Okay, that makes much difference. Instead of writing 3 units in number, it's better to write down 3 units in words. Okay, that's another rectification. Let me go through the next one. Even though is not a connecting phrase, and even though is not one word as well. So there are a couple of mistakes that you have committed. So you have mentioned even though comma. Okay, one thing is even though doesn't need any commas, and then even though has two words. Okay, remember that, please. Thank you. Even though his hemoglobin level, again hemoglobin level is normal, that's wrong. The spelling for hemoglobin is incorrect. So it's not HEMOGLOBIN, it is actually HEMOGLOBIN. No, it's not HEA. It's HEE. Okay. Normal, now he requires ongoing monitoring for anemia. All right, instead of saying he requires, you should have mentioned and he requires. Okay. Based on the above information, kindly provide medication monitoring and continue exercise program for Mr. Baker. That's okay. Please note he has follows visits with the FB and UEC reports. Okay, follow visits. Yes, follow visits. That's okay. With the FB and UEC. FBE and UEC. Please expand these abbreviations when you write down a letter. No abbreviations are allowed to be written down in an OET letter. If you write abbreviations, they are going to make your letter more informal. Also, he requests to remove the staples after 2 weeks. Okay. He requests to remove. This is wrong. Why? He requests to remove. Okay, so you need to write down, and also his staples are scheduled to be removed, and then you can use maybe in 10 days or in 2 weeks or whatever the time. Sorry. If you have any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me. It's appropriate to use questions rather than queries. So it's better to use questions rather than queries. Yours faithfully, registered nurse. You can use yours sincerely instead of writing yours faithfully. Sorry. This should be a command. And then instead of writing down registered nurse, it's better to write down the registered nurse. Sorry. Okay. Let's go through the assessment now. Grammar is one of the most important areas of improvement, as you have committed several grammatical mistakes. You have to expand all the abbreviations, acronyms, and medical terms. Spelling is another area of concern. You have committed lots of spelling mistakes, which is not good. Sentence structures could have been better. The way you have written down isn't good. Use passive voice, structured as much as you can, please. Use a range of sentence structures such as simple, complex, and compound correctly. Use formal words instead of using informal words. Use more synonyms instead of copying words from the case notes. What else? Spelling mistakes, punctuation errors. Okay, all right. The next one is use of prepositions, articles, nouns and verbs, and punctuation marks needs to be improved a lot. Organization of case notes could have been better. You have written down the same information in more than one location. Please shorten the number of words in your letter by not including the same information twice. The other issue is that overall task fulfillment isn't that good. Overall task fulfillment isn't that good. Connectivity could have been better. Score. To me, this sounds like a. Let me check the number of words, mistakes, and kinds of grammar mistakes. Okay, spelling mistake is one of the major areas you need to improve. Okay, looking at the number of mistakes and the severity of these mistakes, to me, this one sounds like a C grade letter. I'm glad to give you only 250 out of 500 marks for this particular letter. You must be able to improve your communication skills in writing by identifying these mistakes and try not to commit them again. You can also record these mistakes on your mobile phone and then listen to them again and again so that you'll not commit these mistakes once again. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, you can share it with others. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to get regular notifications. You can also send me your first letter along with its case notes to get it assessed at free of cost. You can contact me on my WhatsApp or mobile number, that is +614 684 80877, or at my email address, that is steve@ucaneenglishttutoring.com. You can also contact me on my Facebook page, that is www.facebook.com/ucantutoring. I wish you good luck with your practice and examinations. Have a good day. Take care.